In Bleach, the highest ranked Quincy besides the King and Uryu is a man named Jugram Haschwalth, and this long-haired blonde enters the story as another one of the characters that sits at the peak of power in the series, but mainly because of his ability. Before we get to that though, Jugram fights with a special spirit weapon that looks like a huge gold and white shield, as well as a rapier-like sword. Now, the shield is part 1 of Haschwalth's ability, as it does more than just block damage. You see, the shield itself allows him to actually block misfortune in general, meaning all the bad things that happen or could happen to him basically get absorbed by his shield. If this wasn't bad enough, he can actually shift over those misfortunes that he's absorbed onto people who he deems as fortunate already, knocking them down a peg, as this whole deal is supposed to be about bringing balance. Now, balance is a good thing to touch on because that's actually the name of his Quincy Schrift ability, the balance, which allows him to basically take on enemies way more powerful than him, even if it means they find a way to actually do damage to him, and he can reflect that damage back onto their bodies while healing himself back to full health completely. This is a pretty insane ability, as he can basically go no you to any damage that he receives, and the king has even gone as far to say that Haschwalth is like his second half, but unlike most of the sternritter besides him, this guy actually has a huge secret that he's hiding, but we're gonna have to go a little further into the anime before we get a chance to discuss that, so let's move on to talking about Uryu again, because we've got to discuss his final form.